G'day guys, welcome back to another Ross Reviews, and today, as you can see behind us, we have got a Challenger HellCat SRT. You know, this thing is the baddie from the US, and again, in Challenger spec here, 2 doors, rear wheel drive, and we've got the supercharged Hemi. So these things from factory, again, nearly 717 horsepower out the bag, and yeah, they're whiny. They really are. That aggressive front end, big Brembo brakes all around on this thing. You need to stop. It's a heavy car, but this thing should be an absolute blast. So let's jump in it, take it for a drive. Now, out on the country roads here, and you just can't help it. You know, no matter where you are, you cannot help it. But my God, this thing drives spectacularly on a back road just as much as it does on an airstrip. You know what I mean? It's beautifully dampened. You know, on a bumpy road, you can still really drive this thing comfortably. It's pretty planted. It will get squirrely, but as long as you're not right at redline, you know, you can drive this thing. From the seating position, where you can see from the front, the back, you know, over that glorious bonnet bulge, it is a really long way forward. So just even the dash on the interior, it's a stretch to touch the front of that windscreen. But it just adds to the character of this thing, the coolness, and just the badassness, because again, you know, you drop it down and just those wind downshifts, they're just spectacular. And oh my God, this thing just takes off like a bat out of hell. And you got the SRT mode, you know, all the track app pages, launch control with an easy button right there. And you know what I mean? Look at the devilish looks of this thing. Every corner on this car, it just looks mean, aggressive, tough. True old school muscle car, modernized. And I think this is the best example of that. Honestly, I think it is, the Challenger. And, you know, at the same time, put this thing back into drive, turn traction control back on, we can drive grandma to church on a Sunday, for crying out loud. Are you kidding me, man? You honestly could. It's so good. This thing is so good. It's stupid good. And, you know, if you're in America, you'd just be dumb not to own one of these things. You know, I've previously done the Corvette, the new C8, and I absolutely love it as well. You know, these two cars are very different, but the price points aren't very different in America. And, you know, for 70-odd grand US, you could get yourself a used one of these, or you can get yourself a used C8. And that's a really freaking good price. Here in Australia, you know, it's over 200 grand for a C8, and this thing's close to 300 grand, if not more. So, you know, we're really getting shafted here. We really are. And it's a crying shame because, you know, we lost Holden, we lost Ford, and this thing is right up there. You know, Holden and Ford, if they were still in operation, we would have been making cars that were competing with this thing. And the fact we shut the doors is just so sad. And then the fact that we don't even get these offered is just another slap in the face, because, you know, have this thing here, 130, 140 grand starting, make it available. I believe the new C8 at the base trim level is supposed to start at 140 grand. Good luck getting one at that price, but it's meant to start at 140 grand. It doesn't, but technically it should. Then I think you would see a lot of these on the road. I think that's a fair price. You know, when you're starting talking over 200 grand, 300 grand, it's just out of the realm, which is unfortunate because, man, it's such a good car. It really is. Guys, if you're enjoying this type of content, make sure you're subscribing, hit the like button, leave a comment. It really helps us out, and let us travel around, see these cars, meet the owners. Yeah. I'm in love with this thing. 6.2 liter Hemi Supercharged HellCat, baby. Oh yeah, listen to this thing. Oh, brother, it's too good. And it's just like an instrument, this car. Yeah, you can just play with it, and like it just makes such a glorious noise. It really does. And yeah, that whine is just like no other supercharged V8 really I've been in. You know, you get whiny ones, you know, modified LSAs and stuff like that, like they do whine, but I don't know, this one is just from such low revs, it whines like just so loudly, so loudly. Yeah, it's 2,000 onwards, it's just screaming, man. Again, it's a 6.2 liter Hemi V8 up front, supercharged, the SRT HellCat engine, and these things straight out the bag, we're making about 717 horsepower. We did actually, the owner did have this thing on the dyno before he gave it a little tune, and it was actually just putting out over 500 wheel horsepower. Now it's putting out over 500 kilowatts at the rear wheels. So it's basically just sent it to the tuner, done injectors and a tune, got a middle muffler delete, and got an intake on it. Like, that's it. And this thing's doing, I think, 511 kilowatts at the rears. It's massive, man. Almost 900 Newton meters of torque, too. Now, again, transmission-wise, we got an 8-speed. You can actually get these things in a manual if you're brave enough. They come in a 6-speed manual. But I gotta say, this auto is really good. You know, you got paddle shifters, it's an 8-speed, and this thing is just as good as any well-done ZF, you know? It really is. It's quick to shift. Like, it just drops, you get on it. Upshifts are just as fast. It's, yeah. I mean, I'm a true manual head, really am, but this thing in a manual would be pretty terrifying, I'm not gonna lie. Like, this thing's already pretty hairy as it is, and if you're eliminating 2 gears and rowing them manually, yeah, it's full on. But that's part of the fun, I guess. And yeah, this thing just looks so devilish. It really does. You know, for the front end, you know, you got those 2 big holes as well in the headlights, just getting more air in there, and it's just such an aggressive looking vehicle. It really is. This thing is very dailyable. It is, you know. You might have to visit the gas station a lot, but you could daily this thing if you wanted to. It really is quite subtle. But yeah, when you put it into manual mode, you start rowing the gears, you start getting heavy with the foot. This thing, it really does have 2 personalities. It's monstrous when you want it to be. Oh, super fun. As we've demonstrated. There's just something so special about Dodge, like something I appreciate about them. Like, yes, they don't make the most meticulously, you know, they're not Porsches, they're not trying to be Porsche. They're Dodge, you know what I mean? They're a muscle car, and this is a muscle car. It is, you know, it's a lot of money in Oz, but in America, these things are reasonably affordable. And, you know, it's a huge amount of car for the money over there. These things are, and I just love their attitude, because they just went into the board meeting, you know, just said, yep, it, put a launch control button in there, SRT track apps, big supercharged SRT HellCat engine, and let's just put it in bloody everything. The TRX, the Trackhawk, the Charger, the Challenger, like, it's just so cool. Every vehicle they were coming out with, you know, now it's starting to die off and it's sad, but for a while there, man, they had a good run. They really did. And, you know, they're still coming out with the TRXs. If you want to see that review, click the pop-up banner. That is an insane truck that is actually getting bought around here quite a bit. I see quite a few of them on the road now. And previously, yeah, the Trackhawk, which unfortunately they've stopped making those as well. They've stopped making these now. It's a crying shame, but if you want to see the review of the Trackhawk, click the pop-up banner here also. Now, 0 to 100, guys, we're going to attempt it. Look, these things are claimed, you know, they're well into the 3 seconds, but whether or not you can actually do it, that's another thing. So we ended up, the best time here, guys, was a 4.55. And I know what some of you guys will probably be saying, oh, that's pathetic, da 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 da. But it's not. That's a quick time, number one. This thing weighs over 2 tons, 2 guys in this thing, and it's rear wheel drive, you know, on a back road. So 4.5 seconds is really quick. The strange thing is, again, we done 4.5 seconds in the TRX. So, but that is all-wheel drive, you got to remember. So they do hook up a lot easier. And as you can see, this thing really struggled to hook up. And if you were on a prep surface, you know, you had the perfect launch, you're in the 3s all day for sure. It's just getting hooked up and off the line. That takes finessing 100%. But yeah, this thing is not slow. 4.5 seconds is what we did. But man, it's fun to do it. Now guys, look, we're gonna finish the video off here today, but guys, these Challengers, man, they are so cool. And the fact that they finished production now, it's just a crying shame. And again, the fact we never got these in Australia. Why? This is the recipe, man. This was like the secret sauce. Holden and Ford had some of this sauce, again, before they closed down, but why did we not bring it back? Like, these things would have sold, you know, price them reasonably, they would have sold, like the US. And yeah, it's just a crying shame we never got these, man. But an amazing vehicle, one to hold on to, and if you can get one, get one. So, thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, subscribe. We'll see you on that next one.